Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's make a spiraled fan fold shirt. The shirt was prepped like normal and I have it turned inside out. I have the shirt turned inside out to avoid speckling that can happen when some of the dye doesn't dissolve properly. I'm going to start by fan folding the shirt, and I'm going to place my fan fold on the side of the shirt. I'm choosing an area not far below the armpit of the shirt, placing a piece of old sinew that I've tied around a washable marker on that mark, and then I'm going to draw a partial circle on my shirt. I'm going to do this a couple times, and I'm using these as reference lines for my fan folds. I'm going to choose a line close to the center of the shirt, and I'm going to begin by fan folding that line. As I continue fan folding, I am straightening the fan folds on either side of this line, and I'm using the other lines that I drew on the shirt kind of as reference to make sure I'm staying on target with my fan folds. With this design, the fan folds don't have to be absolutely perfect, but I don't want them to be super messy either. Once I have this line fan folded, I'm going to go ahead and tie it up. I had my sinew laying right next to me, so I just grabbed that, but I didn't pull it really tight because I don't necessarily want like great big definition lines in the shirt. I just pulled it tight enough to kind of hold this fold in place for me. I would actually suggest using probably kite string right here instead of the sinew. Then I went ahead and straightened the fan folds on either side of this line. Once I had all the folds straightened on both sides of this line, I actually took the sinew off because I didn't want a definition line. If you used kite string, you could leave it on and it wouldn't cause an issue. I'm grabbing the part of the shirt where I started my fan folds, and I'm beginning to spiral the shirt. I'm trying to hold the spiral tight with my hands, and this is the time when, if I had a little bit larger hands, it would be really helpful. To hold these folds in place, I am going to use some kite string. So kite string will hold my folds in place, and it'll hold them in place pretty tightly because I can pull the kite string fairly tight before it breaks. But it's not going to cause any definition lines in the shirt because it's not that tight. And it doesn't have the wax coating that sinew does, so the dye will be able to get underneath all my kite string lines. After I finished tying the shirt, I went ahead and placed the shirt aside while I continued tying more shirts. By the time I came back to dye it, it had completely dried out. It doesn't have to be dry. You can go ahead and dye this shirt while it's still damp, but it doesn't hurt if it goes ahead and dries out. I recently got in a new Dyespin order, and so all the colors that I'm going to use on this shirt are all new to me. To dye the shirt, I've placed it on top of a rack, which I have down inside of a plastic tub or tote. Then I'm using a washable marker to divide the shirt into 3 sections. For the back of the shirt, I'm going to use some liquid dye. I mixed up 80s Pink and Laurel Blossom from Dyespin to make some liquid dye color swatches, and I have a little bit of the dye left over. I have a little bit less than 1/4 cup of the 80s Pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some Laurel Blossom into my container and go ahead and fill my container up, which is a 1/2 cup container. So I have about 50-50 Laurel Blossom and 80s Pink. I know I can't replicate this color, but I want to use up my liquid dye and I want to try using it on the back of this shirt. I'm going to cover the back of the shirt with the liquid dye, but I don't want to oversaturate it. I'm going to add different colors on the front side, so I don't want these colors to come through to the front of the shirt and kind of overwhelm or overtake the shirt. I also have a few little stragglers of shirt that are hanging over outside of my circle that I've drawn on the back. I'm going to leave those alone. When I dye the front part of the shirt, those are going to get dyed then. Now I'm going to flip the shirt over and use some silicone cake molds to make myself an ice barrier for the front side of the shirt. It was a little difficult to see my orange lines since I used so many other orange lines on the shirt, so I just went over them with a purple washable marker to make them a little easier to see. So for the ice dyed portion of this shirt, I'm going to use some of Dyespin's new Dark Horse dyes. And these are dyes which are supposed to be really good color splitters, but they're not entirely sure what's going to happen with them. That's kind of why they're calling them Dark Horse dyes. So I've never tried any of these colors before. I made dye swatches with them, but I haven't actually used them on a shirt. So let's see what they do. I'm going to use Candy Pop, Elysian, and Purple Twilight. Now I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of soda ash over the top of the dye and add on some ice. After I added on the ice, I placed the shirt aside and allowed the ice to melt. I still had a little bit of the dye left sitting on top, so I added another very thin layer of ice. I don't want to rinse out all of the liquid dye that I put on the back side of the shirt, so I don't want to over ice the shirt. But I do want to go ahead and dissolve some of the dye that's left sitting on top. After the second layer of ice melted, I took this shirt and placed it down inside of a tub that I have that I've placed a metal rack in the bottom. I placed the top on the tote and I put it outside to allow it to process in the heat. It was probably over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so I allowed the shirt to sit in that tub or tote for about 24 hours before I began rinsing it. I started rinsing in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. Then I untied the shirt and warmed the water up to hot and continued rinsing in hot water to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Instead of continuing to rinse until the water was running almost clear, I chose to go ahead and just soak the shirt. So I ran some really hot water in my utility sink, added a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent to the water, and I allowed the shirt to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out and I continued that soaking process until the water was remaining almost clear. Then I put the shirt along with some Dharma's Professional Textile detergent into my washing machine and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Then after the shirt's been washed and dried, this is what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? Because I think this one looks really cool. I like the design. I think it's really interesting. You see the fanfold design, but it's not just a traditional fanfold. I mean, the way the colors move, the way the lines are, it's different. And of course, that's because of the spiral on top of the fanfold. I also love the colors. I think these colors are really cool. I think Dyespin did a really great job coming up with these Dark Horse colors because they do have great color splits. I hope they come out with some more colors. So the Dark Horse colors that I used, Elysian is the color that is right underneath the armpit of the sleeve. That's where I started my fan folds, and then it's also on the other sleeve. The Purple Twilight is the color right outside of the Elysian. It's the bright purple. And then the Candy Pop is the color that's kind of turquoisey, teal, and bright pink. When I did my color swatch, I didn't end up with the turquoisey teal color. And when I looked out on Dyespin's color swatch, they had that color, and I was a little disappointed. So I'm really kind of happy that it showed up on this shirt because I think it looks really pretty. I'm going to have to redo my color swatch and see if maybe I can get that color to show up in my swatch. Remember, I mixed the 80s pink and the Laurel Blossom from Dyespin in a liquid form and placed it on the back of the shirt. And I can't really see a whole lot of that on the shirt. The colors that I used had so many color splits that if any of that pink color showed up, it just kind of goes in or along with the color splits. Because I think every one of the colors that I used splits out pink. So the new Elysian color looks very much like Happy Cat's Strawberry Skies. This is really the first shirt that I've used it on where I see a lot of the color splits. So I want to try this color by itself and see exactly how it splits. You know, whenever you put a color with other colors on a shirt, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to attribute exactly what came from what color. But this color looks very interesting. It has lots of cool color splits. So I think this shirt turned out looking pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if anybody from Dyespin happens to be watching this video, I love the new Dark Horse dyes, and I can't wait to see what you come up with next. So if you've enjoyed watching me make this video and enjoyed seeing the new colors, I sure would appreciate it if you would like the video and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.